So welcome to Shifting Your Focus. It's part of the Resilience program. And you would have seen earlier the interview that Jess and I did about resilience. I invite you to stay with me for the next 15 minutes, and together we're going to look further about how to build and develop your resilience. So in the interview with Jess, I spoke about shifting your focus and benefit finding. So this picks up from there. Remember I said that we're hotwired as humans to focus on the anxious negative thoughts? That comes from the early survival instinct and the flight or fight responses. So this is about turning down the negative thoughts that all of us have every day and tuning into the good and trying to benefit find. And benefit finding is all about seeing and noticing even the smallest things that are good that happen every day, either that we're doing or that are there naturally. So the first thing I want to invite you to take a look at is yourself. So get to know yourself a little better. Take that inner look at yourself. You might want to pause this video at different times and write some stuff down, either on your phone or on a piece of paper. And that's fine, please do that. So I want you to take a moment. I invite you to fully acknowledge where you're at. And in the interview, I spoke about resilient people know what hurts them or what harms them, and they know what helps them. So I want you to take a moment. I want you to write down what you feel you are doing that may hinder you or harm you, and what might help you. What you're doing either helps yourself or what is helping you in your life. So take a moment and write those things down. By writing these things down, it makes it real, and this self-awareness is the first step in change, and this builds your resilience. So in order to process any difficult emotions, writing them down can form a release, and it can be healing. There's been much psychological research done around expressive writing and about writing down how we feel and think in journals. And this form of self-reflection, the research has shown that if you can just do 15 minutes a day over a 4-day period every single day, and whatever you write down, once you've finished with it, you delete it. This can really increase and build your resilience. I want you to try it out. It's about growing your self-perception and reflecting on where you are at, honestly. I would suggest if anything comes out of this that feels difficult or challenging for you or you're struggling with, please do go on to the counselling and mental health pages on the Imperial website and do make an appointment to see one of the counsellors, and you can talk with us in confidence and we can help you work through some of the issues that might be coming up. So number 2, how would it be if you looked at the world in a different way? In a way that felt a little easier and less negative, maybe? In a world that seemed more hopeful? So I'm going to invite you to now think about this. What would happen if you were able to let yourself be more present? So this is about choosing where you place your attention and what you give your attention to. So in building resilience, it's all about shifting your focus. So to enhance and notice the smallest of things. So I'm not asking you to look at the world through rose-tinted spectacles. I'm not asking you to be fake. I'm just saying, notice that in building resilience, it's about your self-perception of not only yourself, but how you view the world around you. So just to highlight this, I want you to try something now with me. Take a good look around you. Look at your environment that you're in right now. Scan your eyes around you. Notice everything that's blue. All the shades of blue, the textures, the nuances. Take a really good look around you. Now close your eyes. Take a big deep breath in and out. Relax down. Bring that environment to life in your mind's eye. Really think about what you've seen. Notice the blue. Notice all the objects that were blue. Now open your eyes. Well done. Now I want you to recount everything that was red. That's right, red, not blue. It's difficult, isn't it? Because you weren't noticing it. I didn't ask you to look for red. You weren't looking for red. You weren't invested in looking for red. So if we're struggling and it's a challenging time, we see the world, our life, our day, our week, our year in a certain way. We focus on the things that are negative. We see the day that way. Through a filter, through a lens, we project onto that day how we're thinking and feeling. And in the process, we ignore, we filter out everything else. So our day, our week, our month, our year becomes distorted. I wonder what it would be if we could take that lens off. Have a think about that for a moment. Give ourselves a different reality. Just by shifting our focus. By shifting our focus, we allow different data in. So I invite you to kind of really develop that further. Is to be real, not fake. It's not all about positive thinking. I'm just asking you to see what is already there. 3 things each day. I got out of bed, brushed my teeth, I had some food. That's fine. That's great. Well done. Start building it, because as you build it, it becomes a habit. The volume goes down and you tune into the more good and positive things in each day. The third thing I want you just to think about is the power of connection. A big factor in building resilience is connection with others. Shelley Taylor from UCLA did a lot of research around this and found that when we connect with other people, it stimulates and it calms the parasympathetic part of our nervous system. So by calming our bodies, it lowers the cortisol, the stress hormone. That's got to be a good thing. Part of the research was showing that if you have just one other person to connect with, just once in 2 weeks actually, that you are 10 times less likely to develop depression. So it's worth doing. The research actually already showed as well that it doesn't need to be a human being. It could be an animal, it could be a goldfish. And the connection could be via social media, via FaceTime, Zoom, Microsoft Teams. So thinking about how we connect with others. Some students might say that they're introvert or they have social anxiety, but think about it doesn't need to be face-to-face in the flesh. It could be via social media and just one person every 2 weeks. Thinking about our mental strength, how we train our brains to think differently, countering the unhealthy beliefs about ourselves. Maybe we are uncomfortable with our feelings and we try and escape them. But that's just going to prolong the pain if we do that. So this is about trying to think about how to shift our focus to give ourselves a slightly different reality and think about building our resilience in maybe a different way than we have done before. Thank you for staying with me. I hope that's been useful. And please tune in for next week when we talk about resilience some more together.